I've been thinking about a show called Transgender or Transgenderism. And, I was going to be a little bit more planned with my deliverances. So this is my first step into more planned and scripted. Somewhat scripted. It's not going to be always scripted, but we're going to used to do like a contemporaneous type speech. In other words, we're going to make sure that we have all the points there pre-planned and some kind of an idea. But I was going to do this show, and I was going to do it on transgenderism. And this is what this is, kind of. It's a brief show, because I want to talk about it more later. But I think it's important to talk about it. But I could not go into talking about transgenderism without talking about people from the 1960s. People born in the 1960s. People born in the 1960s. I'm not talking about the people that were 20 years old or 17 years old or what have you at, Height Ashbury. Those are baby boomers. I'm talking about Generation X right now. So already we've talked about 3 major points. Transgenderism, Generation X, people born in the 1960s. Now this batch, this 1960s batch of Generation Xers are a little bit different than the 1970s batch. That's who I am. I'm a 1970s batch. 1971, early 70s, but 1970. 1971, the 1970s batch, I'm of that. A lot of us are. We're a little bit different than those born in the 60s. I'm beginning to see it now. Maybe we'll change. I don't know. But the change that I've seen was that some of the best, coolest, most brave people I ever met in my life. Of course, I'm born in 1971. I'm their little brother. I'm their little brother. That's who I am. Always acted as that. But these have been the best people ever. They have been the most, I don't use words like woke. I don't use politically correct. I use being fucking decent, Basically, okay, there's another term in there, woke. We're just adding to the list already. What kind of a panoply of sociology is this, But basically, it means being a decent fucking person. That's what it means. Woke means being a decent fucking person. It's using the golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated. That's it. But we've got way away from that now. We're in this whole game of hate that you see amongst so many people. Hating on gay people. And all of us born in the 60s and 70s know that certain people were born like that. Chris Rock talked about it. He's like, yeah, that kid was gay whenever you were growing up. Because whenever you were playing ball, he was jumping rope. And you know that. This is a genetic thing with a lot of people. And, none of this is new. Come on, Generation X. Big brothers and sisters of Generation X. Some of the most hateful people. You people were fucking cool when I knew you. You're really the coolest people ever. I looked up to you guys. I looked up to you for influence. I looked up to you for guidance. And you never did say hate people. Never. Not what you said. That's not what you said. You would have never said that because that's not who you are or who you were. Who you were. And I believe who you are. Had to take a drink. It's kind of toasty out here today. And I'm here dishing out, an ass chewing to the early Generation Xers, people born in the 60s, about being woke and transgenderism. Doesn't mean you're... What the fuck does woke mean anyway? I tell you again. It means being a decent fucking person. That's all it means. That's all you got to say. All this bullshit, hey, it's funny. I like playing with it. Because I remember those guys in the 60s and 70s that were born in the 60s and 70s. We've been seeing these same people forever. We played on the playground with them. Again, they were jumping rope. We were playing ball, We saw the old woman that we don't know if it was an old woman or not. We thought it was an old man, and somebody said, no, that's a woman. You get up there and you see that they got a beard, and maybe they do. I don't know. But, it was somebody that was transgender. It didn't fit perfectly into these particular binary categories. It wasn't new. It was not new. It's nothing new. All this is something that's been going on since the beginning of time. There's always some little guy in pink dress running down the middle of town, swishing down through the middle of town. There's always somebody doing that. I mean, we live in a population of 12,000. I don't know. So there's 20,000 people in the county, and there's at least one person in this county, and then the next county up, and the other one over there, that I know. Even to this day, there are people that switch down the road because they are just, they are who they are. You're who you are, and you should be thankful that your brain didn't come wired like that. But again, I've been hearing all this Christian kick. Whatever, hating on, people, talking about the gay stuff, the transgenderism. And a lot of these early Gen Xers, and there's Gen Xers in there that are 70s as well. Early 80s, probably those too. I even hear most definitely the millennials, who have no right judging anybody whatsoever. I hear judging. But they're getting it from these 60s folks. I'm telling you, this is where it's coming from. You guys are the leaders right now. You're in the height and the prime. And, you're pushing out this hate. Saying that's Jesus. And then quoting some, Romans thing, I think it was. And then, a lot of them are sitting there with tattoos all over them. It's like, well, there's Bible verses that tell you, one Bible verse that tells you not to do that, it's nitpicking stuff, because it's a way to get into somebody else's business. It's not staying in your own business. That's exactly what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just a phase. I don't know. But how I'm seeing the 1960s generation Xers, the early generation Xers, right now, I'm seeing people that I can't believe this. This is the Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley group. Those are the later born. It's Chris Cornell. All these guys here that have fought for everybody in our generation has fought for freedom of other people for the entire time that we've been a generation. And the one thing that people down, specifically in the South, I guess it is, I don't even know. Is it just the people I'm around? I don't know. But it's just hating transgender people. I can't. I'm like, what in the world is going on with hating people because they don't dress exactly like you dress? Let's not even talk about. Let's not even mention how they have sex. Come on, 1960s people. I saw you guys. I know what you were doing. Every fucking thing. If you weren't gay, it's okay. You did your other thing. You did your natural, quote unquote, natural heterosexual thing. But the science is pretty conclusive that there's gender is not really, it isn't really a binary thing. It's just like, they're just not just black and white skin tones. I mean, you put everybody in a big circle of their skin color, all the way across the United States of America, and just make it one shade, and then you get people to go up there and say, okay, for right here on it's black, and I don't like them, and right there other way is white, and I like them, or vice versa. Because that's what we're doing. We're basically dividing that, drawing the line right here and saying, well, that's it, that's too far. But I'm telling you that the statistics is definitely changing. I don't know. I mean, to me, I think that whenever you have a species of a specific population, you can sometimes, where you can have a situation where it changes. You know, the population changes. It doesn't need it to sustain. It's, and, you know, I'm telling you, the universe, Earth, whatever you want to call it, it knows how to run things. It doesn't need people of 10 years of a generation to tell it how to do it. You know, it needs to do its process, and people need to mind their own damn business. It's not being woke, it's being a decent fucking human. Stop being a fucking dick. This is not, your mothers did not fucking treat you to act like that. Your grandmothers especially. Most of you were raised by your grandmas. You know, I know you. And you're hating. You spend all your fucking days hating on people that are gay or transgender. It could be one or the other. I don't know. I don't care. There's somebody for them out there. You know, there is a woman that enjoys a man that dresses up in women's clothes. That's out there. It's a thing for people. You wouldn't believe all the variation. I took a class in college called Human Sexuality, and it was unbelievable. You know, the things that people do that get off on. You know, and of course, a lot of it's not sexual though. I mean, we tend to place sex everywhere. We're all a bunch of Freudians. You know, we've placed sex on everything, but it's. I mean, my God. I mean, you know, you have to figure out how you want to be. I mean, there are people that make a very good living dressing up as Superman. Can you believe that shit? So it makes them who they are, you know. And there are people that are transgender. There's old women and old men that you've known your entire fucking life. Some of us were your grandparents or your grandparents' brother or sister, you know. It was different. They just kind of did their own thing. You knew them as some old person. But then there was rumors, oh man, they did this here and the other. And now you just knew them as old people, you know. But you love them just the same, you know. Let's go, had a good time, and they gave you a piece of gum, and we chatted this and that and the other, and, you know, picked you up if you fell down, all that shit, you know. It's not, there's some weird people. Some of them are. There's just some sick fucks out there, too. I mean, we're not going to deny that. But, you know, I've been around a lot of gay people through college and graduate school, living in dorms, been around people from everywhere, all kinds of people. You walk down a fucking hallway in a graduate dorm at Louisiana Tech University, you're going to meet the whole fucking world. Very smart people from all over the world. Some of them doing some really cool things, you know, really cool things right now. And these people that everybody's hating on, where? Be fucking decent. That's what transgenderism means. It means being fucking woke, which means be a decent fucking person. I don't give a shit. I mean, it's kind of weird for me too, man. I was in Magic Springs, but you know, there was some dude in there that was in his late 50s, and you know, he had on like a little dress thing and some men's tighty-whitey underwear, and part of it was poked in the middle of it, and he was, you know, running around in a store there with some high heels, some makeup, in the middle of the day. There, just right off a little, you know, a marina there. Just sitting there at a grocery store looking at things. You know, buying groceries. It wouldn't hurt me. I didn't hurt him. Ain't none of my damn business. I mean, if that makes him feel like Superman, huh? I guess that's a role he took. And somebody loves him, I'm sure. It's like somebody loves your cranky ass. So be a little bit fucking lighter on people, man. Stop being a fucking dick. That's all. That's a rule. It should be a rule. You know, stop being a fucking dick. And if you aren't being a dick, carry on. I love you. I'm out.